Well, I was a lighthouse keeper in general for 32 years. At St Mary's I did, I think it was about a year at St Mary's as attendant at the lighthouse. Probably it was way back in 1965, I think it was, you know, and I saw an advert in the papers. My best friend saw an advert, so jobs were easily available then. You could move from job to job. So I just applied and that was it. Various jobs, you know, 2 or 3 jobs I had, and then I wasn't very happy in it, you know, and I wanted a change. And as I say, then jobs were easily available. You could just go from job to job, try it, and this came up, and I went out to London for the interview, and then the training was it a month or 3 months, I can't remember now. I went out to Harwich for the training, and then that was it. Appointed to a lighthouse, and then did a year in different lighthouses, and then appointed to Eddystone, which that was my first lighthouse, and then eventually ended up at St Mary's. Well, St Mary's was a bit of a different from normal lighthouses, you know. When I worked there, it was sort of semi-automatic. So I lived in Tynemouth, just a few miles from St Mary's, and you know, just travelled in and out each day. So, but also at another time I lived on the lighthouse because there was a spare house there, and I worked at Lynmouth Foreland in Devon, a lighthouse there, month on, month off, and on my month off I lived at St Mary's Lighthouse. It's a bit convoluted, you know, but that's it. Mainly, you know, on a lighthouse which is fully manned, obviously there's 3 of you, and split into watches, like ship's watches. A lot of your time was taken up with cleaning, basic maintenance of electrical equipment, engines. A lot of lighthouses were weather reporting stations, so that took up quite a bit of your time, sending in hourly reports to the Met Office. And of course domestic stuff, just like in a normal house, you know, cleaning, that kind of thing. Yeah, cool. People used to get stuck on the island, you know, because of the tidal conditions there. You know, it's cut off several hours each day, which was quite interesting, because the obvious place would be to knock on the lighthouse door, you know, and so you'd have to kind of entertain them. So that was quite interesting at times. Yeah. St Mary's was an oil light originally, which involved a lot more sort of physical work. You know, you had to haul the barrels up to the top, the oil, and a lot more work. You know, now you just press a button and that's it. You know, it's an electric light, but not so long ago it was an oil light. You know, so yeah. St Mary's, also I forgot to tell you, it was like a wind-up, like a clock mechanism. There was a weight which used to go right down the centre of the tower, just like a clockwork, you know, and you'd wind it up every, say, hour and a half. So you had to go up and down, or else it was probably easier to stay up in the tower, up in the lantern, you know. And every hour and a half you wound this weight up to the top, and then it slowly came down, and then you would start again. Well, first of all, as regards St Mary's, Trinity House, who run the lighthouses, they had a review of navigational aids right around the coast, and they thought there were too many lighthouses in this particular area. You had Blythe Pier, St Mary's, then the next one down the 2 Tyne piers, and then Sutter Point, which you can see out the window there. So they closed Sutter Point down, and St Mary's discontinued them. And then 1998, I was on the last manned lighthouse, which was North Foreland, and they were all now controlled by computers, you know, from Harwich in Essex. Because of satellite navigation, all that kind of thing, you know, advances in technology. Yeah.
So
yeah, well, the emergency provisions were sort of like you know, flour, cigarettes, tobacco, of course, for those people who smoked. You know, sugar, baked beans, just they had ship's biscuits actually, the hard, you know, hard tack and corned beef, that sort of thing. You know, they had everything. You know, and fruit, you know, grapefruit and that sort of thing. So that, everything was provided. You know, yeah. Or like. You know, to me, I think they're like a bit like churches, aren't they? You know, they're very, you know, they're atmospheric places as well. You know, so and usually in nice places.